Round six. We've seen it. We talk about it every single time. Every Thursday. The madness will begin. We've seen great racing. Side by side, 2 and 3 wide. Drivers in the grass. We've had contact. We've had rivalry. Everything you could want out of this season. This qualifying session was actually pretty tame. Pretty tame there. But I'm sure this race will heat up quickly, especially with maybe on the softs. Those tire compound choices, that's everything. It means everything. Let's get to the broadcast view here. We're following along with Dubsy. Points leader, Dubsy. Trying to hold on to that. He's only got 7 points. Only 7 points ahead of Maybe, who's been winning all the races. Is Jobs going to wreck someone this week? We hope not. We hope not. What'd you say, buddy? Oh, yeah? Yeah, enough of that shitty game. Let's get ready for some exciting F1 racing. We're going to have it. No doubt about it. Let's hope this thing doesn't throw me to a different view here. Okay, so we're back on broadcast. I got Dubsy. Here come the lights. Round 6 of the PRL Season 8. We're green. Oh, good start there for Dubsy. Maybe's on the outside of his teammate right there. Majacko into turn number 1. Ooh, we got 2 cars wide. What happened to Majacko? Oh, my goodness. Majacko went to the inside. Something wrong with the defending champion. Here's Dahi on the inside of Maybe. Oh, the 2 touch. Wow, I'm surprised nobody went off there. Really surprised, but Dahi's coming back on him. We're going to stick here right with him. They would put us in an in-car camera. Thank you for that. You can see there's Majacko there behind Drunk Dolphin, who is looking to the inside of Dahi. Dahi opening up that inside. Now Majacko's going to go around the outside of Drunk Dolphin. See the Gordau back there in the Ferrari looking. Aaron Webb in there. Gordau was in the grass for just a moment. Watching Maybe, who is 1.3 seconds back from the leader. Dubsy using all of this action to just pull away. Dahi hanging tough right there. Why this is pretty tame. Let's see. Let's go a little farther back. Check in with Mitch Man. Running in 7th right now. He made up a couple of spots. I think he started 9th. Terrible, terrible camera work right now. KWP in 10th. Pork Chops made up a couple spots to 11th. It's not. Gordau went way back. We thought he was up there challenging. Unless that was Zeke, and I don't think it was, because Zeke is even farther back than him. So trouble for the Ferraris, both of them on lap 1. Back up to the front, it's Maybe and Dahi. No DRS zones enabled right now. Ooh, you see him hanging it out there. That's got to be a little bit latency in that. I don't think he's going to do that much. That looked like a drag burn out there. Majacko trying to get some positions back here. Not sure what happened. He and Maybe went side by side through turn 1. And I don't know if there was some contact that we didn't see, but he shot to the inside and had to really gather that thing. Almost hit the pit wall. Maybe has stabilized the gap between himself and the leader. Dubsy, who needs to pull out a big lead because he's on the Super Softs. From what we've heard, the Super Soft tires are only going to last you about 6 laps. But look, Maybe has turned the fastest lap of the race on the softs. So it's not hurting Maybe at all. Not hurting him at all. And that's not good news for your points leader, because he needs to pull a gap. Because Maybe is likely looking at a one-stop race from softs to mediums. And Dubsy will not be able to pull that off. Dubsy's actually probably looking at a 2-stopper, because he's going to do about 6 to 8 laps on the Super Softs. He has to run the softs. The softs are a mandatory tire today. And then I'm not sure the softs can last the rest of that time. You're looking 26, 28 laps on softs. I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're looking at more like 16 to 18 laps on the softs. So two-stop strategy is how you're looking for, most likely, your defending champion and your points leader, both Mercedes cars. So maybe I got to think he's locked into a one-stopper. Got to think so. But if you're going to have to do it like that, I would imagine that you'll see super softs on the Mercedes in the final stint. I just got to guess. Now, but look, I want to go back here and look at Majacko. He's not on super softs. He's on the softs. So I thought he started the race on super softs. I guess I was mistaken. So his strategy is still up in the air. He can go either way with it. You know, even starting the race on softs, he might be able to do a two-stopper with double super softs. I just don't know that that's going to turn out when you got a guy like Maybe who is so fast on the harder compound tires. I mean, he just turns great laps every time. So it's pretty tame up front. Let's go check in a little farther back. Drunk Dolphin, who started good, has got Mitch Man on the inside of him right now. Ooh, Mitch Man thinking a little better of it. Dolphin squeezes him into the grass. Dolphin with that really, really good qualifying effort up there, trying to hold off the Williams of Mitch Man, who is having a fantastic race in his own right. I do believe this is one of Mitch Man's more favorite tracks. Mitch Man, of course, is a driver that was that we became familiar with in the community event in the NASCAR Heat Evolution that we put on, the Melee at Michigan. He's a driver that likes to run with the Elite Racing Series and their affiliates in the NASCAR leagues and Project Cars leagues. Now here running with the PRL and Formula One because he watched the broadcast and really enjoyed it. Why did he enjoy it? Because you see racing like this. Mitch Man on the outside, Drunk Dolphin not giving in at all, but who's going to get the DRS here? Neither driver has their wing flaps open. But behind them is a Red Bull going to come and make it 3 wide down into this hairpin corner. He's going long. He's got to go long, yes. So Mitch Man makes the pass work. Dolphin holds him off. And that is Zeusman, who tried to make the dive bomb move, and it did not work. So there you go. That's what we're looking at right now. Brian Mosser in 9th. KWP in 10th. He's got one of the Saubers. I think that's Pork Chops all over the rear of him. Ooh, very, very close. Got to watch that front wing. Got to watch that front wing. That is Ditch Witch. That is not Pork Chops on his tail. Pork Chops right behind Ditch Witch, though. He's being stared down by Clogmonger, a PRL rookie just joined today in the manor. Hoodius back there in 14th. Running on the medium compound tires, one of the few drivers on the hardest compound that we're going to see today. Zeke trying to recover from his early problems. J-Dub clearly not having the race he wanted. J-Dub, very fast driver. Gordau from his good starting spot all the way back. And Sassafras, another new addition here in 18th. So let's get back up front. Dubsy under fire from Maybe. We left him to look at some of the action back in the pack, and here we go. We got a 3-way battle for the lead. Dubsy and Maybe on lap 6. Dubsy, those super soft tires starting to go out on him. We talked about 6 to 8 laps, and he has got Maybe breathing down his neck. He's all over him. So what happens here? Does Dubsy hit pit road? He has to quickly, right? He's losing time. Maybe on those softs is just eating him alive and tearing up his strategy. But you got Nick Dahi right there as well. He doesn't seem to be having as much problems with the super softs as our points leader is. Here comes Dubsy into the pits. Dubsy on lap 6 making his stop. There's Majacko. Let's get up here for the battle for the lead. Ooh, a little bit of latency there. Nick Dahi in second. He's in the slipstream. He's gonna, okay, so DRS zone enabled right there. You're gonna have another detection zone, and he's gonna be able to open it up on this straight. A little bit of an issue there. I don't actually think that second deal was latency. I think he had some sort of a slip, and it cost him some time, and that is not the place that you want it, because that is the longest straightaway on this course. CJ says he doesn't like this super soft strategy. I don't know that I do either. I don't think I do. I think right now maybe has this race in hand. And why does he have it in hand? Because he's a fast driver on any tire compound. You know, if he wasn't so super fast, then maybe the super softs work. But here he is turning quick laps on the softs. He's going to switch to mediums. You know, what's your pit delta here? 17 seconds? 18 seconds? Something like that? I don't know. So Dahi trying to hold tough with the leader. I think he's going to have to pit this time too. He's got to get off those super softs. But he's going to stay out one more. He's going to try to stretch it. Going to see what happens here. Elman Jacko back in third. Aaron Webb trying to catch them both. He's on softs. Dubsy is going to re-enter the fray here in sixth, trying to get those softs up to temperature. That is the mandatory tire. Now he is good to go to the end of this race. Points leader Dubsy. Little known fact about Dubsy. Dubsy has finished no worse than second in any of the PRL races this season. 5 races. 1 win, 4 seconds. That's how good Dubsy is. But winning is so super important because of the way the Formula One points are that maybe is only 7 points back from Dubsy because he's got 2 wins. 2 on the trot, going for 3 today. 7 points back. So right now, Dubsy has a 16-second deficit to his contender in this championship, maybe. We're going to see if Dahi hits pit road this time. Yes, he is. He's going to stretch it and complete lap 8. But Nick Dahi is in the pits, and let's see what tire compound he gets on. Obviously locking those tires up. He doesn't need them anymore, and you don't want a speeding penalty. Those are yellow sidewall softs going on. Back out again. All the engineers there on pit lane. So, Nick Dahi re-enters the fray in 6th. Dubsy is going to be in front of him by a substantial margin. Substantial margin there for Dubsy. Dubsy is catching the leader. 14.2 seconds back right now, so he is catching the leader. Newer softs on that car. We expect that maybe is going to try to push it to lap 16 to 18. Might be able to go a little earlier than that if he's going to do the one-stopper on mediums. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Dubsy just ran the fastest lap of the race. Yep. Dubsy is not going to let this deal go. Obviously, we know how fast Maybe is. He's on the older tires right now. But Dubsy, pole sitter today, very, very fast driver. Wow, this is big. I did not expect him to be in this early. Maybe is in early. That's why. He saw that quick lap put up by Dubsy and maybe has to get off these tires. He knows he's losing time. What's going on? Mediums already. 24 laps. I don't know. There can't be a one-stopper. Cannot. No way. I just can't. Can it? Can it? I'm showing the mediums as a 17 to 22. So in reality, I might have been giving the softs a little too much life. 22 laps is where we're saying that's about as far as you can push the medium tires. So right now I'm thinking you are going to see a two-stop strategy out of Maybe. I think he's going to run on those mediums, and then he's going to probably put 4 to 5 laps on super soft tires to try and win this race. I think that's what you're looking at. He knows Dubsy's on a two-stopper. He knows it. And look at Dubsy up here fighting. He's got to get around this Red Bull quick. He's got to get around him quick because Maybe's coming. He's losing time. That's Zuzman in front of him. And he has to dispose of him quickly. You can see him back there. There's Maybe and Dahi right behind him. Ooh, car off the track. That's my car. We've had another glitch. I hope my car didn't hit anybody, because that does happen a lot. Here's Dubsy on the outside of Zuzman. I don't think that's going to work. Going to try the over-under maybe. I think he's going to be able to get the move done here. Here's your DRS zone. I can't tell if that's enabled or not. It is a race for position. Surely he has it. So Dubsy has the position. Down into that tight hairpin corner. There's Sassafras in front of him. They're putting him a lap down. Dubsy 7 seconds back from your race leader, El Majacco, his teammate, who is still on the soft compound tires that he started this race in. Would imagine we're going to see Majacco in very soon, too. Let's see what happens when he comes up around to the pit entry. Yeah, I think he saw that those tires were a little wore. I think those times he was not happy with them. Majacco's going to hit pit lane right now. Let's switch off to Aaron Webb, and then we'll come back to Majacco and see what he puts on. Aaron Webb, now your leader. There's Dubsy behind him. Ooh, Nick Dahi is passed. Maybe. No, I'm sorry, that's Zuzman. They're tricking me. They're tricking me. So, Majacco, another set of softs for Majacco. Soft, super soft, I guess. I think Majacco knows he's going to have to try something because his times in qualifying weren't enough to compete with the other two guys. So, I believe that's what we're seeing right here. Here he is getting around Sassafras. Drunk Dolphin back there in 7th. He's got Mitch Mann behind him. Those two drivers still fighting. Nick Dahi has his teammate in front of him. Probably calling for some team orders. Cut me a break here, buddy. Dubsy now in 2nd. 3.5 seconds back from Aaron Webb. Maybe 6 seconds back. Now only 4.9. So he is catching Dubsy. That's going to be a battle very soon. And your race leader, Aaron Webb, on the softs, like CJ says, doing quite well right now. How long can Aaron stretch him? It was his own numbers that said they're really only good for about 12 laps. It is now lap 13. And he's got a qualifying lap on those tires. So what can he do here? He can't stay out much longer. And you can see Dubsy chewing up that lead. The gap is coming to a close. Beautiful Haas car with the Ferrari engine. Good partners to have when you're talking F1 racing. Ferrari's very quick this year. What is that gap closing to? 2.6. And maybe in Dahi. Right there as well. Pretty tame race so far on PRL standards, to be honest with you. We've only had one 3-wide move. No side-by-side for 5 corners. Stays out one more and goes mediums. Well, you got the one more right, CJ. Yeah, everybody's contemplating the tire strategies right now, because that will determine this race. Obviously, the DRS is playing a part. It's not played a huge part so far. Problems for Mitch Mann. What happened? Oh no, what happened to Mitch Mann? We missed it. Virtual safety car on the course. These drivers have to slow, and the gap will stay identical to what it was, or it's supposed to anyway. While we have a virtual safety car, let's check the incident report. I want to see what happened here. Mitch Mann, terminal damage. Not sure what happened there. Drunk Dolphin has a 3-second penalty that will be applied. Plenty of warnings, a lot of collisions. But something happened with Mitch Man, and he is now out of this race. I think we are still under virtual safety car conditions. Who pits this time? Does Aaron pit this time under virtual safety car? Yes, he does. That's probably brilliant. Ooh, off the course, ghosted. He must have got in the pits a little too quick there because he had to squeeze it out. So this is a brilliant move for Aaron Webb, who will minimize the damage to his gap to the leaders because he is pitting under virtual safety car conditions. I am not one to normally call Aaron Webb a brilliant man, but today is the day. And he's on mediums. He's going to the end. One-stop race for Aaron Webb. Mark that in your heads right there. Write it down. Write it down, because if he can stay within that pit delta, he might be leading this race at the end. Now, his medium tires might be wore out. He might have a couple guys on super softs breathing down his neck. But Aaron Webb is now a player in this race. So right now the race is between your leader, Dubsy, and second place, Maybe. Identical to how they run in this championship. 2 seconds back is Maybe, 7 points back in the season-long battle for PRL bragging rights. So we're going to see how it shakes out. Twitch chat, I appreciate you stopping in. We always have so much fun on Thursdays. Feel free to chat it up. Even though I am calling this race, I do enjoy talking to everybody. Try to keep it a nice laid-back atmosphere. And it is nice and laid-back today. Typically, I'm yelling and screaming because of all the craziness we're seeing. So we are having a more tame PRL race. But a tame PRL race is a good race by Formula One standards. There's no doubt about that. And I have a feeling that we are shaping up to an exciting finish to see how these deals work out on the tire strategy. We are going to see. Maybe pushing it. Trying to keep those tires under him, though. Mitch Man is pissed at himself. Lost it off of, and then I got my error message blocking that. But we saw that. We saw that with terminal damage. Really unfortunate, Mitch Man, because you had a really good run going. Looking real good out there, man. You can hear the crowd cheering. Cheering him on, Maybe. Trying to catch the leader. Is that it right there? You can see that's a hub right on the front stretch, so I'm guessing that's where Mitch Man lost it. Just a guess. Lost it off the last corner. There it is, yep. Very unfortunate. And this race does have a lot of things going for it. Let's go back and see how far Nick Dahi, 5.7 seconds back. El Majacco there on his unique strategy, soft so far. And Aaron Webb, who's lost a little bit of time to the leader, but I think he's still within that pit delta. That's his goal right now. Aaron Webb has to stay within the pit delta so that he comes out the leader at the end of this race. He caught an excellent break with that virtual safety car, and now it is his job to take advantage. Drunk Dolphin on mediums. I believe he is done and good to go to the end of this race. 20 seconds back, but if he can start turning some quick laps, you never know. Yeah, you never know. Zuzman, 21 seconds back. He's on softs. Ditch Witch in 8th, 34 seconds back. Ditch Witch still coming back off of that injury. 2 races removed from a very, very good run. Gordow worked his way back up to 9th. Gordow doing really good to recover from that early mistake. He's gonna be upset. He's always the one to kick himself when he makes a mistake. Mitch Man said he had his best car so far and threw it away. Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. Clogmonger, the PRL rookie, running in 11th. Zeke in the other Ferrari working his way back up. He's in 12th now. Pork Chops in 13th. Got a race between Brian Mosser and Hoodius there for 14th. Those two guys, no love lost there. I'm sure they're going to be swapping some paint, maybe rubbing some wheels there once we get going. KWP in 16th in that Toro Rosso. Sassafras in 17th, and that should be the last car in this race. Sassafras having some problems. Trying to stay out of everybody's way. Not quite as quick. Doing a real good job not to affect anybody's race, but he would like to be running a little quicker, I'm sure. There I am in my glitched state out there in no man's land. 2.4 seconds back is maybe. You know, Dubsy's really firing back in this race. Since everything became 2 stops, Dubsy is firing back. I thought maybe he had this race in hand, but Dubsy is keeping that gap, making sure he's still in this thing. Nick Dahi in 3rd, 6 seconds back. Let's see where Aaron Webb is. 16.8. He's still losing a little time to the leader, but that's not, you know, maybe is losing time to the leader as well. You know, so he can't get too down about it. The mediums are coming in for him now. So we'll have to just keep an eye on it. How far back will he be? Where will he come out when Dubsy hits his final pit stop? And it's going to be soon. Dubsy's got a problem. Flat left front on Dubsy, and he's in 2nd. Bad spot to have it. He's got a couple of corners to go through. Maybe he's already gone by. He's got Nick Dahi coming up in a 2nd. Wow, what a way to throw a wrench into this race. He's trying to get out of the way of Dubsy. Does well to do that. Dahi is around. Oh, man, that's terrible for Dubsy. Really, really rough. We know Dubsy, what did he pit on lap 6 or 7? So he's basically 13 laps in on those tires. And that was all it could handle. Oh, Dubsy was doing so well. Going on mediums now. He's going to try to go to the end. But that's a killer. That's a killer. Unfortunate for Dubsy, who was leading this race and is now on the outside looking in and maybe is just cruising. On those mediums, just cruising. Aaron does look poised for a podium, for sure. Mick Tyler, how's it going, man? From the NASCAR series, thinking about joining? You got to get in. Ask Mitchman. Mitchman was the same way. He's a big NASCAR driver, and he decided to come over here and race with the PRL F1 boys, and he's loving it. He's having a great time. Yeah, really tough break frozen. Well, I did not expect that. I did not expect it. And we turned the camera back to him at just the right time, too. Unbelievable. Very, very unfortunate for your points leader. He's going to lose some points here today. Nick Dahi's going to hit the pits on those softs. Let's see what tire compound he goes to. He's got to go mediums, I think. No other choice. Yep, mediums going on that Red Bull. Let's see where he shakes out here. It's his teammate there, Zuzman. There's Dubsy behind him, so you can see how much time Dubsy lost. Now behind Nick Dahi. Our boy Aaron Webb is up to 3rd, 14.5 seconds back from your race leader, maybe. Yeah, that thunderstorm was a little rough on us, Steve. Mick Tyler's going to sign in as a reserve. That's awesome, man. Well, CJ, why don't you hit him with the Precision Racing League link if he doesn't already have him? One of my mods, please. Definitely the league to join. There's a lot of good leagues out there, but this F1 2016 league is quite frankly one of the most exciting, in my money. So El Majaco is 9 seconds back. He's got one more pit stop left. He saw the flat tire on his teammate. You got to think he's going to try to get in soon. Maybe there in the lead. When is his stop coming? We thought that he's probably going to make the switch to super softs. He's putting a little bit of time on Aaron Webb there. We will see. Yeah, the tire management, yeah, definitely. Definitely a big factor, because Aaron, he went into this race thinking that. He was thinking one stop, go softs and then mediums. So he made a conscious effort to try and save those tires, and he did the job. Whereas Dubsy had to be out there pushing because he had maybe right there on his tail. So, I mean, you could tell, even when you have the strategy that you want, you've got to be able to manage that strategy as well. And when you've got quick drivers up there racing for the lead, sometimes it's hard mentally to back it down, to keep it there at a nice pace. 15.7 seconds back is Aaron Webb. I think he's in that delta. However, the guy we wrote off, Dubsy, is around Nick Dahi up to third. Who's in the pits? That's Majacko in the pits. Majacko out on a set of mediums. We're not going to see the super softs from him. 13 seconds back. Still a factor, although I don't think for the win. Nick Dahi, good to go to the finish. Trying to work his way around Zuzman, his teammate. Looks like he's going to make that move stick. Dahi up to fourth. Dubsy running third. 19 seconds back from the leader and catching Aaron Webb. So Webb obviously going all the way to the end. Your race leader maybe still has one stop left. There's no way he can make those tires last. I say that, but he did it last week. No way, though. No way. He's got to have another stop in him. Especially if he's locking those tires up like that. He's still pushing. So, now the strategy changes a little bit for Mr. Aaron Webb. He's got a dwindling lead on Dubsy. A little over 3 seconds is the gap. He cannot let Dubsy get to him, and especially not around him. He may have the lead here when maybe takes his final stop, but Dubsy is pushing to try and catch Aaron Webb. Dubsy's not out of this race. Dubsy can still win this race. Maybe is going to have to try and get as far as he can on this set of mediums, because he needs to come out on super softs or he's not going to be quick enough to win. And we know the super softs only go 6 to 8 laps. So he's got to stretch it. He's going to have to stay out. Otherwise, he has no choice. He has no choice. Lap 25 right now. That's true. We're going to have to see how Dubsy is abusing those tires. Not to mention, we know Dubsy's car is a little hard on tires right now. He is using them up. Aaron Webb is catching the race leader now. Aaron is catching the race leader, which is a good thing. The more he catches him, the bigger his gap will be when maybe makes his final stop. Unless maybe is just using that gap as a buffer for those tires. He says, well, I'm going to try and make it all the way. I'll just give up some of this 15-second lead. As much as these races are normally battles of sweat and blood and tears and muscles, today is a chess match. This race tonight, round 6 at Hockenheim, has been a chess match, and we have yet to see the master play. There is no checkmate. We've got 3 to 4 players on this board that believe that they have the final play. Oh, wait, he's in. Is he in? Maybe he's in. And now he's come out in second place. Here comes Dubsy. Where's he going to sort out? Dubsy on the outside. He's going to get him. So maybe he's in third and he's on softs. He's pushing hard too, but he's got to get those tires up to temperature. There's your race right here. Here's your race. Maybe right on the back of Dubsy. Is he going to have enough of that draft? He's side by side with him going into this corner. Now he's got it. Wow. Dubsy, contact. Wow. Not a whole lot of issues there, but it could have been a big problem. Dubsy, who looked like he was going to give up that position pretty meekly, then with the, whoa, big dive bomb here. Dubsy on the inside. Ooh, I thought those two cars were going to hit again. He knows he's got to stay close with Maybe. He knows he's got to race him because this is the race for the lead. And he's got to stay close because when Maybe goes to race with Aaron Webb, he's got to be there to take advantage. Because Maybe's quicker. Maybe's got those soft tires. He's going to be quicker. Now we've got a three-way battle for the race lead and the win. Aaron Webb, your leader. On the medium tires, working a one-stop strategy. Maybe on the softs, catching Aaron Webb. Going to be really tough for Aaron to hold him off. Going to be really tough. I mean, I'm sure in his mind after this race he'll say, well, I'm pretty happy with a podium finish. But right now, the only thing he's thinking is, I got to win this thing. He wants to win it. But he is nearly a sitting duck, Maybe with the DRS enabled to the inside in the hairpin. Aaron's going to try to let him go. I think he wanted to do the over-under, but it just wasn't meant to be. Maybe the leader of this race. And now the two drivers behind him on their harder compound tires, the mediums, basically watching him sail off into the sunset. Maybe, who has won the last two Precision Racing League races, is poised to win race number 3 in a row. And Maybe should have plenty of time. I mean, he's not really in a position to where those softs are going to run into damaged time limits. You know, we saw the flat there for Dubsy. I don't think he's going to have the similar problems. Let's sit back and watch the race for a second. Points leader Dubsy has not finished any worse than second all season. Aaron Webb sitting in that second spot, trying to hold on to it. But Dubsy's going to have DRS, and here he comes. Dubsy to the inside, and he's going to make that pass work. No, Aaron's going to hang tough to the outside. Not going to happen. He pushed it as hard as he could, but it's not going to happen. Aaron Webb relegated to third place. Now, does Dubsy have anything for Maybe? Can those medium tires hang with him? We can see lap traffic for your race leader. Not a huge issue there. Dubsy now with the McLaren between himself and the race leader. He's got to get clear of that McLaren very quickly if he wants any chance of catching Maybe. 1 second is your gap. 1.5 seconds now, and Aaron Webb is back on the tail of Dubsy. Can Aaron Webb get in DRS range? He's there. But what can he do down here on this straight? DRS is enabled now. Webb is in the slipstream, not close enough to make a move. Did close the gap quite well, not close enough to make a move. 1.4 seconds for Dubsy. He's got a Ferrari now to contend with. Maybe is lapping these cars at a fast pace. The gap is not really widening at a huge margin. It is a great strategy race, that's for sure. the players are making the moves, and right now Maybe is making the strongest moves. Let's go through the field here. We've got other guys to talk about. Nick Dahi having a good run in fourth, very consistent. Only one DNF for Nick this year. El Majacco back there, not too far off of Nick himself. On those mediums, those tires got to be, well, he's done 2 stops, so they're not too wore out. Zuzman there in 6th. Very good run for him. He'll be pretty happy with that. Solid points. We got Gordau there. Worked his way back up to 7th. He's got Drunk Dolphin on the inside of him, I believe. Yes, it is. This is a pretty good battle here for 7th. Drunk Dolphin on the super softs, trying to do away with the Ferrari, which is on the softs. Might have a look down here going into turn number 1. That's not exactly a place you want to make a pass. He's going to make it stick, though. Gordau cut him a little bit of slack. Drunk Dolphin up to 7th. Behind them is Ditch Witch, and that's J-Dub fighting for 9th place. J-Dub not having the race he wanted, was way back at the start. Probably the product of some contact. Here comes J-Dub, inside move. Makes it pretty comfortably with that DRS enabled. Ditch Witch going to look to challenge, but just kind of feeling it out. Not quite close enough to make a move. So J-Dub up into 9th. Brian Mosser in 11th. Ooh, that's a car off the track. That is Brian. Having some issues there. He's behind Aaron Webb. He was the McLaren the leaders were lapping. Zeke there in 12th, catching Brian, trying to get that position. Obviously, not a points-paying position, but if he can move his way into 11th and somebody drops out of this race, all of a sudden Zeke stands to score a point. And I think he's going to make that move on Brian Mosser. Mosser's trying to hang tough. Zeke got a little bit of wheel spin, but that pass has been completed. 3 passes late in this race, back farther in the field. Glad we were able to go back through and take a look at this. Pork Chops there in 13th. Trying to make that Sauber work. He's got one of the Mercedes in front of him. That is the McLaren there. Is that? Yeah, that's Brian Mosser. So Pork Chop makes the move into 12th. Brian's had a couple of offs there that have hurt him. Pushed him back a couple of spots. Mick Tyler is getting signed up. Good deal, man. Can't wait to see you out there. Hoodius in 14th, all on his lonesome. Would like a little bit more than that. I'm not sure how he feels about Hockenheim personally. But on the soft tires, trying to find something. KWP in 15th. Clogmonger in his first PRL race in 16th. Sassafras in 17th. He is the last running car in this race. Of course, we had Mitch Mann who crashed out, and will finish this race in the 18th position. So back to the front. Only a handful of laps to go. Not even a handful. Jonesy, absolutely PRL has iRacing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. PRL has iRacing, Assetto Corsa, Project Cars, Formula One 2016, NASCAR Heat Evolution. A little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. I'm looking forward now that Assetto Corsa has custom lobbies. I'm looking forward to getting the Assetto Corsa League started up and possibly participating in that because that is a game that I hear a lot about. So I want to check that out. We are 2 laps from the finish. Maybe has a 4.9 second lead on Dubsy. At this point, Dubsy just trying to finish this race. Not going to be able to challenge for the win. Aaron Webb 8 seconds back. Has Dahi a couple of seconds behind him. So the fight for the podium is in Aaron Webb's hands. Let's see if he can continue to hold on to it. CJ's got you the link there in the chat, Jonesy, so you can get involved in the iRacing exploits PRL style. Sergeant Slaughter, how's it going, man? Appreciate you stopping in. We are just about to finish this race. Right now, we are looking at Maybe, who is leading this race. He's won the last 2 races and is trying to make it 3 in a row. This race would tie him for the points lead. Dubsy still has yet to finish a race this season worse than second. But with 3 wins, Maybe is punching his ticket and will tie Dubsy in the race for the PRL championship and will own the tiebreaker with 3 wins on the season. Yeah, Jonesy, oval racer at heart. Aaron did have a great strategy, still working it back there in third. Should be able to secure third. Dahi's going to try and get up there and make a move. But Aaron should be fairly safe for that position. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Right now, man of the hour, Maybe. Looking for 3 in a row. Only a half a lap left to make that a reality. Good race here tonight. Plenty of strategy. Plenty of those elements we like to see. And here he is, the hottest thing going in PRL Formula One action. Maybe. Winner 2 weeks ago. Winner last week. And he's going to win again in Hockenheim. Maybe ties and takes the points lead in the PRL Formula One Championship with his 3rd win in a row and 3rd all time. Here's Nick Dahi, who was looking to make a move there on Aaron Webb, but is going to have to settle for a 4th place finish. So Dubsy 2nd, Aaron Webb 3rd. Here is Drunk Dolphin. Zuzman's going to end up in 5th. Drunk Dolphin in 6th. J-Dub working his way up into the 8th spot. Good recovery from J-Dub, must be said. Yeah, CJ, server issues, not wanting to race at all. Only practicing day of the race. That's the club that K-Dog created there. So J-Dub finishes in 8th. Ditchwich retires from the session. Not sure if he was already across the line or what. Oh, he crashed across the line. Not sure how that's going to be scored. You can see Philippe Nazar there at 9th. That's Ditchwich there. D and F across the line. That's a little strange. What do we got? Some sort of a, look at this. Some sort of a glitch here. We've got the real names. But obviously, Maybe your winner. Dubsy 2nd. Aaron Webb 3rd. Nick Dahi 4th. El Majacco 5th. Zuzman, Drunk Dolphin, J-Dub. That is Ditchwich Gordell getting back up into a points paying position after his early issue.